Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is so exciting today because we are doing this vampy fall look right here today on my channel. I am so excited. I hope that you guys are ready for fall because I am so ready. Last week I put up on my Instagram a simple question if you guys thought it was too early or not for fall looks, and thank God all of you guys said no, because here this is right here. I don't know why I'm still holding this lipstick. This is the one that I'm using today. But anyways, without holding you guys up too long, if you want to find out how I got this fall-inspired vampy look, just keep on watching. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jordana and today we are doing fall. It is hot as heck outside, but the power of AC is incredible. So I am totally wearing a sweater weather, right? So today we're going to do a fall look, and I am so excited because this is definitely one of my favorite seasons of the year. I am in love with the smoky vampiness that happens during the fall, so I cannot wait to do more of these with you guys. I love throwing color into my fall looks, but today we're going to do something smoky and sultry and not colorful. So we're going to start with priming our face. I already got my skincare done. We're going to prime the face. I am a combination skin type, so you'll see me prepare my skin as such. We are using two primers. The first one is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer. This is one of the best mattifying primers that I have tried. I love it. I've tried both drugstore and I have tried higher ends, and this guy along with the Boscia are amazing for mattifying, especially if you're super oily. So that's going to go in the center of my face, and then we are doing the L'Oreal Magic Lumi. That's going to go on the outer perimeters of my face to just kind of help counteract some of the dryness that goes on there. So I'm going to take that, about this much, and we are going to work that into the skin, especially in the oily areas. For me, that happens here, here, and here. And I like to work that into the skin, push it in, making sure that all that area is covered. And it starts to get really, like, not tacky, but you can see that it immediately starts to, like, grip up and dry up those areas, which is insane and amazing. For me, that's what I look for in a mattifying primer. So, and then the L'Oreal Magic Lumi is going to go around the outer perimeter of my face. Even though I wear matte foundations, especially during the winter, I'll wear a matte foundation just because that's the trend, I feel like, but I still like for it to look glowy and dewy underneath. So anyways, today for skin, I am doing Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. That's this guy right here. Smashbox, because of their most recent 24-hour foundation, I've kind of like gone back to them a little. And this guy, I forgot that I had in my collection, and I like it. The coverage is really good. The wear is really good. It's pretty on the skin. So I'm going to apply that first using a buffing brush. This guy is by Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. And I always pump 2 pumps on the back of my hand, and that's how I'll start. I'm going to work that into the skin using my blending brush first. I prefer to do this with a brush first and then go in with the sponge to push it in. The reason being is I feel like the brush really helps build coverage. The sponge really helps to push things into the skin and make them more skin-like and push all the layers together. So that's my theory behind that. And there isn't really much left on my hand. Like, I've used the 2 pumps up, and I've been having a really good skin moment. So I don't have to use as much foundation as I was before, but I would really recommend that you guys get into your skincare, especially for the winter time. Your skin just dries up and changes because of the weather changing. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of your skin so that it looks good regardless of the season. So that's pretty much it for the skin. I love healthy, dewy, glowy skin without it looking super oily. So that is definitely my vibe. Check that foundation out. And today for concealer, I'm actually really excited. We are going to use the Touche Eclat Radiant Touch Concealer by YSL, and they come in these fancy pens. I've got two shades here. One is 2.5 and the other one is 2. And so the 2.5 is more of my like concealing shade, and the 2 is definitely more of my highlighting shade. And you guys know that I love to do that with my concealers. I use one to conceal and I'll use the other to highlight. So that's exactly what we're doing here. Nothing different. So I'm going to take the shade 2.5 and we're going to apply it in all the areas where I need to conceal. That's another thing that I've been noticing about my skin, is that I've been using a lot less concealer. I don't know if because the concealers are just more coverage and I don't need as much, or I've just grown out of the whole putting a bunch of foundation and product onto my skin phase of my life. But I just noticed that this foundation, the products wear so much better. So this guy has a neat little brush applicator to it, if you can see that there, and there's a pump at the end of it, so you just really get to work stuff in as you're applying the product, and then if you need more, you just pump it, which is pretty cool. How much is in here? There's 2.5 ml, so 0.08 fluid ounces inside of the pen here. And it's kind of weird to know if you're getting all the uses out of it because of the fact that it is in this kind of container, but I did wear it the other day and it wears very nicely. It's very light feeling, but it is a lot of coverage. As you can tell there, like it wears it very nice, very light on the skin. I didn't notice creasing. I needed minimal powder to set it. It was nice. Concealed, I like it. So I'm going to take the shade 2 and I'm going to go into the high points of my face and highlight. You guys know that I like to go right here. Literally the high points of my face right here. And my nose. Take some more in the center. And the shades aren't that much different. They're just a little lighter than each other, but I really do like this formula. It is nice coverage, but it is not heavy feeling, and that's always, I don't know what you guys look for in a concealer, but that's what I look for in a concealer. One tip that I will give you guys is if you have a lot of darkness in your eye area, focusing concealer here, in that area there, will really help to counteract the darkness, and it will make you look more awake. There are just natural shadows that happen there, and if you use your concealer in those areas to really help undo them, it's a neat little trick to make you look a little more awake. So there's a concealer. I love the way that that looks under there. It's just very nice, very natural. So we're going to move on to contouring, and we're going to do cream contouring and then set it with some powders. Like always, I am a firm believer in cream contour. It is a big deal to me just because I notice a difference in photography especially. But I also like the way that it just looks a little more natural on the skin, and it looks less cakey to me personally on my skin type than if I just went in with powders. So we're going to use a concealer, and you guys know that I love doing that too. The formula to concealers for me are just a lot smoother. They blend a little better on top of the foundation versus your contouring products. And today I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Cocoa. So this is what that looks like, and I always apply things to my hand first before I actually apply them to my face. I've just learned that trick helps me control the amount that's going on there, and then I also warm up the product before I apply it onto the actual skin. I'm using an angled brush by BH Cosmetics, and I love this guy for applying contour because the angle really just helps me carve out specific areas like the forehead and then the cheekbone as well. It's a nice buff, dense brush, so the product really gets worked into the skin as I am applying it. So I just prefer, I know a lot of people use stippling brushes for things like this, but I just prefer the buffing brushes. They always blend things better, there aren't any streaks left behind, and they always push the product into the skin while keeping the coverage. So it's very important to me in this instance. It's not about coverage, it's about pigmentation, and I like the pigmentation that that product gives me. I like the color of this contour, and I don't want it to be manipulated by the brush. So that's a great way to do that. And so I'm just going to continue to work that. I like to stipple it on, kind of like push it into the skin, stamping it, and then I will buff up. Push up towards the center of your face so that you can create that nice little cut there. Look at that. Oh, pretty. So what I'm going to do is just use my beauty blender to push everything onto the skin. So the next thing I'm going to do is just set my under eye area, and for that I'm going to do the Maybelline Fit Me in Fair. That's this guy right here, and so it's the fair color, and I like the fair color just because it helps to continue to add coverage to my under eye area, and I like to apply it using a puff. So I'm going to grab plenty of that, and then even when I grab it from the sifter, I like to push it up against the lid. And what that does is even break up the powder more so that it is a little lighter going on to my under eye than just picking out of dirt within the container. And so I'm just going to push that into the skin. We're not just setting it, we're pushing and working into the skin. And that's it. So we are ready to do our eyes. We're moving quickly today. I don't know what it is about starting with the face that just like gets things going. So we're gonna go with the eyes, and as usual we are going to prime with our Urban Decay primer in Eden. I love this guy. Have not found a primer that I like as much as this. It's the way, the tackiness, the grit to it. I love the color and how it helps to like color correct the lids. Like look at how it took care of some of the redness and the darkness. And then when I go to apply my actual eyeshadows, it just holds on to the pigment so well. So for eyes today, we're going to use the Born to Run eyeshadow palette by Urban Decay. It has some really pretty shades in it that I feel like are very fall appropriate. So we're going to be playing with some browns, some golds for the center, definitely some blacks, and let's get into it, people. So we're going to start off with the darkest color. That's something that I've been trying out lately and really liking. We're going to start off with the darkest color first on a nice pointed blending brush. This guy here is the JH33 from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill collection. I really like these brushes. They are honestly really, really good brushes. So I'm going to grab that dark brown that's called Good Is Gone, and I'm going to make sure that I shake off any excess product. And what you're going to do is you're going to start by stamping and lining out the area where you plan on putting this dark color. Okay, so because dark colors usually go into the outer corner and crease area, you want to make sure that your wrist is angled down instead of angled up. This is how I would do it if I were going to buff this out, or when we buff this out, but right now I want my wrist pointed down into this hollow here. So don't worry about blending too much because we are going to blend this out in just a second, but make sure that you are stamping this dark color and building the darkness into place. That's what I think fall is. I'm going to take this into the inner corner too, and I'm going to build that color into the inner corner. And once you've got the colors dark enough, we're going to switch gears here. We're going to grab a similar brush, but we're going to use some lighter colors with it. Where the brush is looking for? Here. So this is literally, I feel like it's almost the same brush, but this is the Morphe M433, which is my favorite blending brush, and we are going to take Riff and Weekender, and this is Riff right here, and this guy right here is Weekender. Okay, so it's like a very pale tan color. We're going to use that to blow this out some and blend out some of those harsh lines because it's looking scary right now. You must be freaking out, but let's again shake any excess stuff off. And what you're going to do is just on the edges of this eyeshadow here, you are going to start to blend circular motions outwards so that we can soften up some of those lines. Okay, great. So right now the center is still blanked out, which is how we want it. I'm going to work on the lower lash line. I'm going to take just a nice smaller, thinner blending brush. It's still a blending brush, and we're going to take that Good Is Gone color, which is that nice dark brown. And we are going to blend that into the lower lash line so we can start to smoke that out. And I'm actually going to grab a little bit of Riff with it. So the next step that I'd like to do is I'm going to take a pencil eyeshadow, and this is the Nude Stix Luminous Eye Color in the copper foil. And I should probably show you what that looks like. This is what this looks like here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this onto the center of my lid, so we can start doing our spotlight slash halo eye. These colors are very pretty. They're nice for a good base, and even on their own, like on days where I'm going to work at Sephora and I really just don't have time to do something crazy, I will throw on one of these Nude Stix eyeshadows and smoke it out, and it is the prettiest smoky eye you have ever seen. And then we're gonna go into our Urban Decay shadows, and we are going to use Stranded, which is right here, over top of that, just to kind of give our eyes a pop. It's gonna be a nice contrast between the browns and the golds. Look at that. Oh. And I'm using my ring finger to apply this and blend it out with that same finger. The oils that are naturally on your fingers really help to bring through these shimmer shadows and give it that extra pop. And so again, I'm just taking that same brush and we're blending things in so that they are not so awkward. So I'm going to use the color Breakaway in the palette, and it is just like a very pretty highlight shade to add some light to this halo eye. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take another eyeshadow pencil, and this one's from Jordana. It's the Tenacious Brown pencil, and we're going to line our lower lash line and intensify that quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do my mascara. I'm going to take my Too Faced Damn Girl mascara. The whole idea behind this mascara is that you don't have to re-dip into the actual container. They actually recommend that you don't do that because it'll come out clumpy. So we're going to go ahead and use my Kiss Brassiere lashes. These are this guys right here. I've used them a ton of times. I actually like them more the more that I get to use them because they're molded to my actual eye. So it's really nice. I'm going to take that with my applicators and my duo glue. Alright, so once your lashes are on, we can go ahead and apply our lower lash line mascara. And I'm not going to use that brush, I'm going to use a smaller brush. This is Dior mascara, Dior Show. So once we have built those up, we can move on to doing our brows. I honestly have been trying to do less with my brows, just kind of let them do their own thing and be natural. But with a full look like this, I recommend that you try to do something a little more than just natural brows, but it's up to you. So I'm going to start by running some of the Gimme Brow by Benefit on here. The Gimme Brow has fibers and it's got a tint to it, so it really helps to just kind of wake them up a little bit. Fill in very naturally some of the sparse areas that you have on your brow. So if you're someone who just wants something quick in the morning, like me for work, this is what I'll usually do and I'll just run out the door. But because of the way that I want this to look with a full face on, we are going to do something a little more than just a Gimme Brow. So I'm going to take a break and just kind of let that set into place and make them nice and full and bushy, and we are going to move on to finishing up the complexion. So I'm going to use my Kat Von D contour palette, and we are going to just bronze up a little more. I'm not going to go too heavy into the contour because I'm pretty happy with how defined my cheekbones are right now. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to take this paler shade and this shade right here, which I love obviously, and we are going to just go over the cream stuff that we just got done doing so that we can just kind of reinforce it a little bit. It's quite nice. So I'm going to do the same thing with an angled brush. I'm just going to do my nose contour. And what I have been doing is just bringing it in from that brow bone down the nose. The other thing that I have been doing is using a brush like this one and getting the two brightening shades in the palette. And using that to dust off any under eye powder that I have left from when we baked. That just kind of helps to brighten the areas up, tie anything together. I like to clean up my contour with this. It's that like matte highlight type of deal that you have going on. So we like it, we like it. The next thing that I'm going to do is take my Blushing in Bali blush and highlight combo, and we're going to go pretty deep for the blush. We're going to use this guy right there. I mean, very sparsely, but we're going to use that guy to kind of tie this look together. These blushes are very pigmented, so most of the time I will take it on the back of my hand and I will kind of deposit most of the product in the back of my hand and then go in with whatever's left over to my cheekbone area. And I really like this for fall because it makes like such a warm blush. And for highlight, I want something that's frosty, so we're going to use this shade in here. It's called Glisten in this palette, and Glisten is just a very, very pigmented highlight. Put that at the very top of the cheekbone areas. Alright guys, brows are done. Let me set my makeup here. I'm going to use the Ren face mist, the anti-pollution face mist to set everything. I love the way that this mist comes through the filter. It is so fine, so nice. So they're just going to set everything into place, and we are going to go in with a dark lip. So let me find that dark lip, put it on. I will walk you guys through the combination that I use. Sit tight, I'll be right back. Okay, this is the lip that I went with. It is a Coulor Pop liquid lip, and it is in the shade LAX. It is, I've had this for forever, and I don't know if they still have it. I hope they do. It's like the perfect burgundy burnt brown shade. It is beautiful, a beautiful shade, and I think that it threw this whole look together. It is definitely giving me fall vibes. I hope that it's giving you guys fall vibes too. Please subscribe to my channel and share this video. Share as much as you can. Throw it on Facebook, throw a link on Instagram, tag your friends in this video down below. I'm gonna put a snippet of it on Instagram, but feel free to share, feel free to comment, ask questions, throw some suggestions as what you guys would like to see. As always, I have a ton of fun doing these videos with you guys. I hope that you guys liked it. Let me know by hitting the thumbs up button and commenting down below. I will see you guys next time.